Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the 15-year veteran Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Number 12 in green and gold coming out to lead the Packers. Of course, that's Aaron Rodgers. Last year for Rodgers, despite the young receiving core, despite the nagging injuries, despite the removal of his head coach, better than 4,400 passing yards, the second highest total in his 14 NFL seasons. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the two guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Open man is Allison, complete. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
The 3rd year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court. And we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, defense. Who we got?
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson from the shotgun. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Let's bring it.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Trevor Davis deep for Green Bay. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the 1st down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers looking middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now the pass brought in by Roberts. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, team.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's caught, and there's the first NFL catch for Marquise Brown. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 23. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Kyler Fackrell leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. It's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. From 17 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 41 yards. He may not be the top guy in the league, but he shows right there, and we know it. He's got the big playability.
And he's showing it to us right now because he's letting the league know he's going to be there when the regular season begins. He uses preseason as not just an audition, but preparation. He's ready to play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the ground, this is Williams. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. 3rd down here. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Rodgers now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. This is the rookie from Notre Dame, Dexter Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. Tramon Williams, a veteran corner there on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Got him in. It's Brown. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line. Those are the types of throws that Jackson has to be more efficient with this year. He really put an emphasis on improving his passing accuracy in the offseason because last year as a rookie, 58%, that was it. And his quarterback coach said the ball is coming out of his hand cleaner. The timing looks better. That's what they're hoping for. Everybody knows he can run, but now he continues his quest to be more well-rounded and improve on his conservative 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns he threw for last season. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's going to air one out, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Certainly not what the offense wanted down here, going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, look who got involved. I mean, when you got a strong safety who can drop into the box, never needs an invitation to be one of those guys in run defense, does he? Wakes up every morning just a little bit ticked off.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. To throw, it's Rodgers. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Returnable here for Davis. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do it, especially early in the game like they have. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers going to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He can run for it, and he will. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 19.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time. Time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
All day, dog.
To throw is Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Now Crosby for the point after. It's good to make it 17-7. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter. And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Set, ready, 6 yard.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He dumps it down to Ingram. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And the shuffle pass to the running back goes for no yardage, but they used to call that the Utah pass, made famous by Coach Cactus Jack Curtis and his quarterback, Lee Grosscup.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Davis now to return it. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Here's Irvin to return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. An NFL update, 2nd quarter now in Jacksonville. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
After the penalty, it's Ingram.
Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packers will get the football at their own 20-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 1st down, Williams. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On play action, Rodgers. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
No. 258. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
The busy night continues for Williams. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
We want it. Come to my world.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the throw.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. They'll run on first down. It's Williams. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On first down, Williams. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
They'll run it with Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Jamal Williams Taking it in. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Williams. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you guys in just a little bit. This one of 5 games currently in progress as we kick off the second week of preseason action. We'll have 3 more tomorrow night, 5 on Saturday, and then 3 nationally televised games. Saints, Chargers, Seahawks, Vikings on Sunday, and on Monday night, the 49ers and the Broncos in Denver. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The second quarter score, meanwhile, down in Arizona. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. The first throw for the backup, Griffin. Snead's got it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here we go. Pittsburgh, I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, a free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down.
Here's Griffin to throw. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line.
I'm here all day.
They'll run on first down. Dixon trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Chris Moore there to make the grab. And the Ravens get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. That time a 9-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Kaiser to throw it, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Off the draw, here's Williams. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Jones on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. Around the NFL, 3rd quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Griffin to the right side and complete to Hurst. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. This quarterback now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a 1st down.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Dixon running from the shotgun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 5 now. Griffin, short throw underneath to Hurst. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. 2nd year with the Ravens for Hurst. He didn't have the rookie season he was hoping for, just 13 catches. Remember, he's older than the average 2nd-year player. He spent 2 seasons as a pitcher in minor league baseball before hanging up the glove and heading to the gridiron. Now he says he's more determined than ever. Put on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Says he's on a mission with a lot to prove this year. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with Dixon. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. To throw is RG3. Throwing left side, it's complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 23. Trying the jet sweep here. It's Boykin. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Edwards. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from a yard out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tucker now for the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
The run there on 1st down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Brandon Carr there to make the stop. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action. Kaiser. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Such a valuable commodity to have a tight end who can run and get open. How about what he just did there? Worked his way from right to left across the field and found his way free.
On 1st down, Williams. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Kaiser now. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line. The 3rd now gears up to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. Don't like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched?
He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right. Hey, 4 down.
Out of the gun, Griffin. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Let him know.
Now on 2nd and 13. Griffin. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end, Ken.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time, it's a sack. Come on, fellas.
You never want to give up a sack. And from the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Strong right. Everyone, you got 4 down.
Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A gain there of 30 big ones. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The handoff out of the pistol. It's Dixon. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Griffin. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Let's go. Do it. Check, Mike 42. Come on. You better bring it.
They'll run on 1st down. Dixon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Here comes the ball.
Tackle made by Montrevious Adams.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few.
And he will find Hurst in the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. Hayden Hurst there to make the grab. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. On first down, it's Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Tackle made there by Chris Wormley. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, Kaiser. He'll get this to Jay Kumaro. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Kaiser now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Williams, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup, and that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Williams, and an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Man left, man left. Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. A throw caught by Kumaro. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Kaiser now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a first down. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Packers have retaken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Griffin. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
On first down, it's Williams. And some room to work. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it. And this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Following the penalty, it's Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down. Throwing on second and long. Kaiser. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The veteran tight end Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver, and it's third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Call it a gain of 5, fourth down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. The kick by Crosby is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Robert Griffin III now gears up to lead this offense again. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. RG3 going to bring the Ravens up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This pass into the arms of Snead, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now it's Griffin. And he finds Kenneth Dixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The end result, 21 yards. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They go play action. Griffin. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
They'll run on first down. It's Dixon. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and 2, Griffin got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin there to make the grab. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Tucker with the extra point, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll run it with Williams. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 9, Kaiser. And he will find the open man as Jamon Moore. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 36. Kaiser now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Williams. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Kaiser. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
You got it. You got it.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a fourth quarter lead. And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
From the 44, Griffin. It's complete to Snead. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But, got to get the point. Get on the point.
They go play action with Griffin. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On 1st and goal, Dixon. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
This was boxing. You think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered, but this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip. And he will find Hurst in the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. Hayden Hurst ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game as the Ravens push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
On 2nd and a couple, Kaiser. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jamon Moore, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, G. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
To throw is Kaiser. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd and 12, Kaiser over the middle, and it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Go, go, go.
They'll start the drive with Dixon. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Clock running, under 4 to play as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And that play there, boy, almost looked like it was a video game and he didn't know what the pitch button was. Not very well executed.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, you better figure it out fast. I suggest knowing it before you actually run that play.
Play action. It's Griffin. He uncorks it for Snead. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On 2nd down and 4, Kaiser. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended receiver was Trevor Davis, and it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. On the ground, this is Williams. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw, and he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Let's go. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Now Kaiser. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Kaiser now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. On first down, it's Williams. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yard back at the 12. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Kaiser. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
They're going to try and run for it, and he's not going to get there. The defense able to come up with a big stop, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Three down.
Griffin down to a knee, and that should be the final act in this game. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think